Chosen one. The light brought you here today on an urgent note. If you have been waiting longer than everyone else, this message will explain why. And by the time you finish listening, you will understand that what felt like punishment was actually protection. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. And what seemed like delay was heaven buying you time to become someone who could handle what is coming next. Right now, leave a comment with the word positioned, because that is exactly what you are. Positioned for a level of blessing that required a specific level of preparation. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that the people who hurt you the most seem to be doing just fine? They moved on quickly. They advanced easily. They faced no visible consequences for what they did to you. Meanwhile, you have been stuck in what feels like a holding pattern, waiting for breakthrough while watching everyone else break through. That contradiction has probably made you question everything: your faith, your decisions, your value, even God himself. But what if I told you that their speed was not a reward? What if I told you that their progress was not a blessing? What if everything you have been interpreting as evidence of injustice was actually evidence of a setup so strategic that you could not see it while it was happening? Stay with me, because this is going to shift something fundamental in how you see your entire story. There is a difference between elevation and exposure. Elevation is when heaven lifts you. Exposure is when heaven allows you to rise just high enough so that when you fall, everyone sees it. Some people are not being blessed. They are being positioned for a public lesson. And you, the one who has been waiting, watching, wondering when your turn would come, you are not being overlooked, you are being preserved. Let me break this down because it is critical. When you see someone rise quickly after doing wrong, your first instinct is to question God's justice. How can they prosper after what they did? How can they advance after how they treated people? That question assumes that their current position is their final destination. It is not. What you are witnessing is not their reward. It is their setup. Heaven sometimes allows people to climb higher so that their character flaws become more visible. At ground level, certain weaknesses can be hidden. But the higher you go, the more exposed you become. Lack of integrity that was manageable at one level becomes catastrophic at another. Manipulation that worked with a few people becomes obvious when dealing with many. Pride that was tolerable in private becomes destructive in public. They are not getting away with anything. They are being given more rope. And people who do not know how to handle elevation will eventually hang themselves with it. You do not need to wish for their downfall. Their trajectory is already set. Your job is to focus on your own foundation, so that when your elevation comes, it is sustainable. Think about it. If you had gotten what you wanted when you wanted it, you would have gotten it with the wrong people, in the wrong environment, with the wrong character. And it would have destroyed you. Not because the opportunity was bad, but because you were not ready. And heaven, in its mercy, said no to your timeline, so it could say yes to your destiny. Every delay was an assignment. Every closed door was a classroom. Every person who rejected you was actually redirecting you away from something that would have limited you. You have not been standing still. You have been standing under construction. And construction always looks messy before it looks magnificent. If you are feeling this in your spirit, go ahead and hit that like button. Not for the algorithm, but as a personal acknowledgement that you are ready to see your story differently. Let me talk to the silent ones for a moment. You know who you are. You are the ones who stopped defending yourself. You stopped explaining. You stopped trying to convince people of your value. You withdrew not because you gave up, but because you realized that some battles are not meant to be fought with words. You learned that silence is not weakness when it is strategic. And right now, your silence is about to become the loudest statement you have ever made. There is a principle that most people miss. When you are fighting for something, you are operating in your own strength. But when you step back and let heaven fight for you, you activate a level of intervention that human effort cannot replicate. You have not been passive. You have been wise, and wisdom always wins, even when it looks like it is losing. Here is what has been happening while you were silent. Foundations were being tested, alliances were revealing themselves. Motives were coming to the surface. People were showing you who they really are, not who they pretended to be. And all of that information was necessary, because you cannot build a future with people who do not belong in it. You needed to see clearly before you could move forward confidently. Now, let me address something that has probably been tormenting you. You have been wondering why God allowed it. Why did He let them take from you? Why did He let them lie about you? Why did He let them prosper using what you built? Those questions are valid, and the answer is going to reframe everything. God allowed it because stopping it too soon would have left you vulnerable to repeating the same pattern with different people. You needed to experience the full weight of betrayal so that you would develop the discernment to recognize it early. You needed to feel the pain of misplaced trust so that you would learn to trust selectively. You needed to watch them succeed temporarily so that you would stop measuring yourself by external outcomes and start measuring yourself by internal integrity. What they did to you was wrong. Let me be clear about that. This is not about excusing their behavior. This is about understanding heaven's response to it. Heaven does not rush justice because justice that comes too quickly does not teach the necessary lessons. But justice that comes at the right time, in the right way, leaves no room for misunderstanding. And your justice is not delayed. It is being prepared with precision. Comment the number 777 if you sense that your moment is closer than it has ever been. There is something you need to understand about spiritual timing. When heaven says not yet, it is not saying not ever. It is saying not with who you are right now, not with what you know right now, not with the capacity you currently have. There is a version of you that is being formed in this waiting season. A version that can steward what is coming without being destroyed by it. And until that version is ready, heaven will protect you from premature access. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine giving a teenager the keys to a Ferrari. They have not developed the maturity to handle that kind of power. They have not built the discipline to manage that kind of responsibility. And if you give it to them too soon, that gift becomes a danger. The same principle applies to you. Some of the things you have been praying for would have destroyed you if you had received them when you first asked. That relationship you wanted so badly 5 years ago, you were not emotionally healthy enough to sustain it. That business opportunity that fell through, you did not have the wisdom to navigate it. That position you were denied, you lacked the character to steward it well. Heaven was not punishing you by saying no. Heaven was protecting you by saying, not yet. And here is what most people miss. While you were waiting, you were changing. You were developing emotional intelligence you did not have before. You were building financial discipline you used to lack. You were cultivating patience, resilience, discernment, and strength that only comes through pressure. The waiting was not wasted. The waiting was working. Some of you have been angry about the wait. You have been frustrated that doors have not opened. You have been confused about why things that worked for others have not worked for you. But what you call frustration, heaven calls protection. You were not ready for that door, and if it had opened, you would have walked into something that looked like opportunity but functioned like a trap. Let me tell you what has been happening in the invisible. While you have been waiting, systems that were built against you have been weakening. Structures that were designed to keep you out have been cracking. People who aligned themselves against you have been losing the very thing they gained by betraying you. Not because you cursed them, because they violated a spiritual law that does not require your involvement to enforce itself. There is a law of reciprocity that most people ignore until it is too late. What you send out comes back, not always immediately, not always obviously, but always inevitably. They sent out deception, manipulation, and theft. And now, those same things are circling back to them. You do not need to watch it happen. You just need to trust that it is. The reason you have felt such a heavy weight recently is because you are on the edge of a shift so significant that the enemy has been trying to convince you to quit right before it happens. That heaviness is not evidence that you are stuck. It is evidence that you are about to break through. Resistance increases right before release. Pressure intensifies right before the breakthrough. If you are feeling that weight, it means you are closer than you think. Share where you are watching from in the comments. Let your city or country be a marker of where heaven is working right now. Because what is happening to you is not isolated. It is part of a larger movement of restoration that is happening globally. Now let me talk about what restoration actually looks like when it is real. It does not look like revenge. It does not look like you suddenly having everything while they have nothing. That is not restoration. That is immaturity. Real restoration looks like you walking into rooms you were previously excluded from. And instead of needing to prove yourself, your presence alone shifts the atmosphere. It looks like opportunities finding you instead of you chasing them. It looks like peace in the middle of transition instead of anxiety about the outcome. You will know restoration is real when you stop thinking about them, not because you are in denial, but because you are so occupied with where you are going that where they are becomes irrelevant. You will know it is real when your success does not require their failure. You will know it is real when you can see them and feel nothing. Not hatred, not bitterness. Nothing. That neutrality is freedom. Let me give you a picture of what is about to happen. There are conversations happening right now in rooms you are not in, and your name is being mentioned, not negatively, favorably. There are people who are being positioned to open doors for you who do not even know you yet. There are resources being moved into alignment with your next season that you did not ask for and did not know you needed. All of this is happening in the background while you are still dealing with the foreground. This is how divine orchestration works. You cannot see it. You cannot control it. You cannot rush it, but you can trust it. While you are sleeping, heaven is arranging. While you are working, heaven is connecting. While you are waiting, heaven is preparing. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Every conversation you have had, every experience you walked through, every skill you developed, it is all being compiled into a portfolio that is about to open doors you did not even know existed. You think you have just been surviving, but heaven sees it differently. You have been in training. Every difficult person taught you patience. Every closed door taught you resilience. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every loss taught you detachment. And now you are walking into a season where all of that training is about to pay off in ways you cannot even imagine yet. There is a scripture that says he works all things together for good, not some things. all things, that means even the mess, even the mistakes, even the moments you regret. Heaven has a way of taking what was meant to break you and using it to build you. And what is being built in you right now is a capacity to carry weight that most people will never be able to handle. Heaven does not announce what it is doing, it just does it. And then one day you wake up and realize that everything has shifted. The people are different, the opportunities are different. Your capacity is different, and you cannot even pinpoint when it happened because it was so gradual and so divine that it felt natural. Here is what you need to prepare for. When the shift happens, it will feel anticlimactic. You have been expecting fireworks, drama, and spectacle. But most of the time, divine intervention feels quiet. It feels like things just falling into place without effort. It feels like ease after years of striving. And if you are not careful, you will miss it because you are still looking for the big moment, when the big moment is actually a series of small, aligned movements. Pay attention to the details. A text message that leads to a conversation. A conversation that leads to an introduction. An introduction that leads to an opportunity. An opportunity that leads to a door you did not even know existed. That is how heaven works. Not with explosions, with orchestrations. And while this is happening externally, something equally important is happening internally. You are losing the need to be right. You are losing the need to be seen. You are losing the need to be validated by people who do not understand your journey. That loss is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of maturity. Maturity does not need an audience. Here is how you know you have matured. You stop needing to defend yourself. You stop needing to explain your decisions. You stop needing to prove your worth. When you are secure in who you are and whose you are, other people's opinions lose their power over you. That does not mean you become arrogant. It means you become grounded, and grounded people do not get shaken by every wind of criticism or praise. I have watched this happen over and over again. People who used to be loud become quiet. People who used to need constant validation become self-assured. People who used to react to everything become selective about what deserves their energy. That transition is not personality change. That is maturity arriving. And maturity is what qualifies you for the next level. You see, talent can get you in the door, but character keeps you in the room. Opportunity can introduce you, but integrity establishes you. Favor can open something, but wisdom sustains it. And all of those qualities, character, integrity, wisdom, they are not developed in comfort. They are forged in difficulty, which means every hard season you walked through was not punishment. It was preparation for a level of influence that requires a depth of character most people do not have. If this is resonating with where you are, take a second and subscribe. Because this is not just a random video you stumbled on. This is a frequency your spirit recognized, and staying connected to it will keep you aligned with what is unfolding. Let me address the fear that is sitting in the back of your mind. You are afraid that if you believe this, if you allow yourself to hope again, you will be disappointed. That fear is valid. You have been hurt before by believing too soon, by trusting too quickly, by opening yourself up before the situation was proven. But here is the difference. This time, you are not hoping in people. You are not hoping in systems. You are not even hoping in circumstances. You are hoping in a process that has been proven over and over again throughout history. Heaven does not fail. People fail. Systems fail. Timing that is based on human logic fails. But divine timing, divine positioning, divine strategy, that does not fail. And you are in it right now, whether it feels like it or not. The proof is not in what you can see. The proof is in what you can sense. And if you are sensing that something is shifting, trust that sense more than you trust what your eyes are showing you. Now, let me talk about the people who are about to re-enter your life. Some of them will come back because they genuinely realize they were wrong. Others will come back because they see that your season is changing, and they want access to what is coming. Discernment is knowing the difference. Not everyone who returns deserves re-entry. Some people served a purpose for a season, and that season is over. Let them stay in the past where they belong. Pay close attention to this. When people reappear, watch their language. Do they take responsibility, or do they make excuses? Do they acknowledge the harm they caused, or do they minimize it? Do they show changed behavior, or do they just offer changed words? Anyone can apologize, not everyone can change. And if you let people back into your life based on words alone, you will repeat the same cycle with the same people. There is a reason heaven removed certain people from your life. They were not adding, they were subtracting. They were not building, they were draining. And no matter how much history you have with someone, if they consistently take more than they give, they are not a relationship, they are a liability. And you are under no obligation to maintain liabilities just because they once had value. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Some of the people you are grieving were never really for you. They were for what you could do for them. And the moment you could not serve their agenda, they disappeared. That was not loss. That was clarity. Heaven removed people who were using you so that it could connect you with people who will value you. Stop trying to revive dead connections. Let them go and make space for what is alive. You do not owe anyone an explanation for closing a door that should have never been opened in the first place. You do not owe anyone access just because they apologize. An apology without changed behavior is manipulation. Watch what people do, not just what they say. Actions over time reveal truth. Words in the moment reveal intention. And intention without follow-through is empty. Here is a truth that might sting but needs to be said. Some of you have been waiting for certain people to see your value, and they never will. Not because you are not valuable, but because they are incapable of seeing it. Stop waiting for blind people to affirm what they cannot perceive. Your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see it. Move forward without their validation. You do not need it. As you step into this next season, you are going to need to make decisions that do not make sense to people who do not have access to the information heaven gave you. That is okay. You are not required to explain every move. Some things are between you and God. Honor that sacred space. Quiet confidence is far more powerful than loud announcements. Let me also prepare you for something uncomfortable. Not everyone is going to celebrate your restoration. Some people were comfortable with you struggling because it made them feel better about their own stagnation. Your rise will expose their excuses. Your progress will challenge their narratives, and instead of being inspired, they will be intimidated. Do not internalize their resistance. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with what your movement reveals about their lack of it. You are also going to need to learn how to receive without guilt. For so long, you have been in survival mode, making it work with less, stretching every resource, operating in lack. But when abundance comes, and it is coming, you cannot carry the poverty mindset into it. Receive what is given. Enjoy what is provided. Rest in the provision. You do not need to feel guilty for having what others do not. That is not humility. That is a rejection of blessing. Let me address this directly because I see it all the time. People pray for breakthrough, then when it comes, they sabotage it because they do not feel worthy of it. They get the job but talk themselves out of it. They receive the opportunity but hesitate to step into it. They are given favor but downplay it to make others comfortable. That is not humility. That is fear disguised as modesty. True humility is not rejecting what heaven gives. True humility is stewarding it well. It is recognizing that what you have is not because you are better than anyone else, but because you are called to a specific assignment that requires specific resources. When you reject blessing out of guilt, you are not being humble. You are being disobedient. Heaven does not give you things to hoard. It gives you things to steward and to share from a place of overflow. Some of you grew up in environments where lack was normalized, where having too much was seen as greedy, where success was viewed with suspicion. And now, even though you are praying for more, when more shows up, you feel uncomfortable with it. You need to unlearn that. Poverty is not a virtue. Struggle is not noble. God is not glorified by you barely making it. He is glorified when you are so blessed that it cannot be explained by human effort alone. Drop a heart emoji in the comments if you are ready to receive without guilt. Here is what is about to change in your daily life. You are going to start sleeping better. The anxiety that has been waking you up at 3 a.m. is going to lift. You are going to stop replaying old conversations in your mind. You are going to lose interest in checking on people who are no longer part of your story. These are not small things. These are indicators that your nervous system is coming out of survival mode and entering rest mode. And rest is where creativity lives. Rest is where vision expands. Rest is where strategy becomes clear. You are also going to notice that your tolerance for dysfunction decreases. Environments that you used to endure will become unbearable. Conversations that you used to engage in will feel like a waste of time. Relationships that you used to maintain out of obligation will feel draining. That is not you becoming difficult. That is you becoming discerning. And discernment always feels like intolerance to people who benefit from your lack of boundaries. Let me give you language for something you have been feeling but could not articulate. You have been sensing that you are supposed to be somewhere else, not geographically, although that might be part of it. But positionally, you know you are supposed to be operating at a different level, in a different capacity, with different people. That sense is not pride. That is divine dissatisfaction. Heaven is making you uncomfortable where you are so that you will move toward where you are supposed to be. Divine dissatisfaction is one of the most misunderstood feelings. People think that if they are where God wants them, they should feel content. But that is not always true. Sometimes God makes you uncomfortable in a place you have outgrown specifically, so you will not stay there. That restlessness you feel is not rebellion. It is redirection. It is heaven saying your assignment here is complete. It is time to move. Do not ignore that discomfort. That discomfort is directional. It is pointing you toward your next. And your next is not going to look like an upgraded version of your current. It is going to look completely different. New people, new rhythms, new challenges, new rewards. Everything is about to shift. And the shift is going to require you to let go of what is familiar so you can grab hold of what is destined. Some of you are holding on to situations that heaven is trying to remove you from. You are staying in jobs that are draining you. You are maintaining relationships that are limiting you. You are living in environments that are stunting your growth. And you are doing it because the unknown feels scarier than the uncomfortable. But let me tell you something. Staying where you have outgrown is more dangerous than stepping into what you do not yet understand. When a seed stays in the ground too long after it is ready to sprout, it does not just stay the same, it starts to rot. The same thing happens to you when you stay in a season past its expiration date. You do not maintain, you deteriorate. That restlessness you feel is not a problem to fix. It is a signal to follow. Heaven is not trying to make you miserable. Heaven is trying to move you forward. Heaven is not going to force you out. But it is going to make staying so uncomfortable that leaving becomes the only logical option. If you are feeling that pressure, stop resisting it. That pressure is not punishment. It is promotion trying to push you into position. Before I close this out, I want to speak to those of you who feel like you have lost too many years. You look at people who are younger than you and already further ahead. You see opportunities you missed. You replay decisions you wish you could redo. And you carry a weight of regret that tells you it is too late. Let me break that lie right now. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to go where you are going. The detours were necessary. The delays were purposeful. The losses were preparation. You did not waste time. You invested it in becoming someone who can sustain what is coming. And what is coming is not a consolation prize. It is the main event. One divine connection can recover a decade. One supernatural door can surpass what 10 years of human effort could not produce. One anointed opportunity can catapult you past people who started before you. You are not racing anyone, you are running your own race. And your race is about to hit a pace that will shock everyone, including you. Take a deep breath. Feel that weight lifting. Sense that heaviness dissolving. Notice the hope rising. That is not wishful thinking. That is your spirit recognizing truth. You are not waiting anymore. You are transitioning, and the transition is already in motion. If this message strengthens something inside you, let me know. Comment ready. Drop an amen. Leave a fire emoji. Let this be your agreement with what heaven is doing, because agreement activates acceleration. And you are about to accelerate in ways that defy logic and exceed expectations. You are standing at the edge of your greatest chapter, not because of what you did, but because of who you became while you were waiting. The enemies did not win. They positioned you. The delays did not defeat you. They developed you, and now everything they meant for harm is about to be converted into a testimony so powerful that people will not be able to deny that heaven was involved. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with peace. And walk forward knowing that what is set up for you cannot be stopped by anyone who is standing against you. Your moment is here. Your season has shifted. And what comes next will silence every doubt and confirm every promise. This is your time. Step into it fully. Go in strength. The setup is complete. The table is set. And everything you have been sensing is about to manifest in ways you can see, experience, and testify about. Do not hold back. Do not second guess. And do not shrink. This is your moment to rise, and rise you will. Together, we rise toward the light.